Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. I am Gabe Strong, a DPM video producer based in Juneau, Alaska. Here in Alaska, this is how we travel a lot, by these small planes, and I'm taking a look back at a project I recently did for a show that airs on Amazon Prime and Tubi TV, where we had to take planes like this around southeast Alaska. Well, here we go. Just got to get this contract signed and then we'll get working on this shoot.
And the music we listen to, it all works together so that I find my channel to create. So through that channel, I work with color, and I work with heat, and I work with fire, and I'm able to put all these things together and create.
Off we go. So if you've ever seen my channel before, you'll know that in Alaska we take planes most places, as there isn't much of a road system here in Alaska. So I'm headed to the airport, and I'm not going to be flying on a jet today. I'll be flying on a small plane, as we'll be headed out to Glacier Bay for some shooting, and then later on that day we will take another plane back over to the town of Hoonah, which is where we'll have an Airbnb that we'll be staying at. So we'll be boarding this small bus, which will take us down to the pond that the seaplanes are located at. We'll be taking off from a pond and landing in the ocean when we get out to Glacier Bay. And with me today is producer Christelle and Sonny from Northern State Media, who's going to be second camera op, doing a lot of gimbal work and stuff with me on this shoot. So we're going to load up the plane.
Nice.
Thank you.
David Moorfield has done a couple of vlogs about packing light and his lightweight gear setup. When you're flying on these small planes, you definitely have to have a small gear footprint, as there's a very limited amount of space on these things. Here you can see the limited amount of space we have on board. This is all the space we have for all our gear. This is clothes and video gear, and we've got 5 of us crammed in here plus the pilot. Alright, so we made it to our first location, Glacier Bay, Alaska. We're in Bartlett Cove. We're going to be headed up to meet our interview subjects. First we have to offload all our gear off the plane. Well, here we are. You can see the clan house here in the background. Got our interview subjects, and Sonny's over there with Christelle. Going to shoot some of the interviews inside, but we're also going to shoot some stuff outside here around some of these totem poles, or katia as they're known. Now here's a overcrank shot I'm doing. You can see I have the focus locked on the subject as he walks away from the frame. And here it is with the leaves falling in slow motion. You can see them in a couple different places here in this shot. Now this is a 2-camera shoot on this show. I'm mostly a camera with the FX6 handheld on sticks. Sonny is doing gimbal work constantly. So I will have locked off shots, or I might be bouncing around a little bit handheld, and Sonny will be doing moves with the gimbal.
You will see that there are more than 3 eagle clans being represented here.
So whenever you're ready, Gordon.
Okay. So this kutia that we have is representing the eagle clans that are currently in Hoonah. That is the one that passes on all of our historical information that must be passed to us as we go from generation to generation.
After shooting some B-roll and interviews outside, we're inside now setting up. Got some lights on stands set up so we can move them into position depending on where we're going to shoot. All our gear's kind of just thrown off to the side here. I've got the FX6 on sticks, got a boom mic ready to go for any interviews we do in here. Sonny's bouncing around shooting a little B-roll on the gimbal right now. So let's get shooting with some of these scenes inside.
That we often would use for different ceremonies. Sometimes they were the it, sometimes they were
really get back into weaving.
So after we finished up there, we're back on the plane, headed over to the small town of Hoona, where we have an Airbnb we're going to stay at. We'll land here, offload everything. This is a seaplane, so we will be landing right on the ocean. Some of these smaller villages don't actually even have airports. So in villages where there's no airport, the ocean itself acts as the airport. And it's a pretty calm day here, so that's nice. You can see we're going to splash down right about here. So we'll taxi on over to the float plane dock and get our gear loaded up, as we should have a van, a ride waiting for us there to take us to our Airbnb. Here we are at our accommodations for the night. We got laundry in the entryway. I'm going to show you guys a walkthrough of this place. It's a lodge where visitors to Hoona might stay. Pretty nice place. We've got the living room down here, and you can see the views out front are of the ocean. We're up on the hill a little bit overlooking the ocean. There's the dining room and a place you can sit and look out over the ocean. There's even a deck here where on a nice day you could sit out in the sun and barbecue if you wanted. And here's the dining room. And if you walk through there, you can see there's good views over the ocean pretty much everywhere here. Here's the kitchen. So a pretty nice place here. Hoona Totem really hooked us up nicely. It's been a long day. I think I'm going to grab something to eat here. I don't know where Sonny is. Where could he be? Let's go look and see if we can find him. Probably walk over this way. Team A on our team, working hard. You can see. After eating, I still need to get some drone video. Taken off from the deck here from our lodge. Sunset is about maybe 40 minutes away, so great time to shoot drone video. Magic hour. So there we are, and I'll pull back with the drone real quick, speed it up in post. There's the town of Hoona, and you can see how far out I went, and I'll get some drone footage here of the town of Hoona. Well, Christella and Sonny and some of our interview subjects are getting coffee. I saw this fog and sunlight here, so I decided to shoot some time lapses. You know, some crew members, they take a break to go get food and drinks, and some of us, you know, we're just always working. We see the shot and we have to just ditch the breakfast and start shooting, because I don't know how long this light will stay. Plus, you know, some of us just, you know, work harder than others, I guess. I don't know. Just kidding, Sonny. Well, first thing we did was go to the local high school gymnasium and shoot a dance performance by local students. I didn't have much time for BTS. The one shot I did get appropriately was Sonny working, shooting with his gimbal. Figured since I gave him a hard time there that I'd show him getting some shots. Doing some good gimbal operating here.
Like $100 or something bucks.
Here in Alaska, we kind of use whatever we can find as far as video carts go.
They're plastic. That's the only downside. I prefer
Right.
you know, actual rubber or something.
Yeah.
Or shred, but I was like, if I had a car, it'd make life so much easier.
In this case, it's a fold-out cart from Costco, which folded down small enough that we could fit it in the small plane with us. Pretty much everything loaded down there except for what you can just throw on your back. That's pretty good. Yeah, I like it. Definitely better than making a bunch of trips in, right?
That's what I was thinking. How we doing in Alaska?
What's that?
How we doing?
Yeah. We don't have the rock and roller carts like the fancy guys do in big city. We got these genuine Costco. I don't even know what you want to call it.
So I went and they came out. Our songs, every single bishop, and that contribution. So yes, this will probably go to Timothy, and this is for Lynette, this is for Richard.
Well, with the first set of interviews done, off we go to our next location. On the way, I saw this shot, so I just stopped and grabbed it real quick. We're headed to Icy Strait Point, ISP, which is an old cannery. Now it's the base of the cruise ship terminal in Hoonah. And yes, Hoonah, a town of 900 people, now has cruise ships that stop there and is home to one of the longest zip lines in the world. And we're going over here to shoot some more B-roll and interviews. So the Costco special cart is all loaded up with our gear. Just gotta grab my FX6 here and we will head in to our location. I think we're gonna maybe shoot out here on the deck with the fire pit in the background. So I'm gonna come out here and scope it out, and look what I see over here. I guess they know it's still a little while before deer season opens. They're just chilling here on the lawn. It's a pretty nice day outside. I think we will use this deck location here to do our next interview. This is a restaurant that during cruise ship season would be full of people. It's got a great view, as you can see here, right on the waterfront here. It's almost lunchtime, so we're gonna go see what kind of food we got here for the crew. And it looks like we got a whole table full of food. So we'll take a break here for lunch, and then after we're done, we will set up our next interview out on the deck. See you in a few. So let's offload our cart, get all our gear out to the deck to shoot the interview. We're definitely going to want to shoot towards the water. I think we might put fire in the little fireplace there behind him. And now it's time for the obligatory time lapse of our setup. So here we got our setup done. Sonny's kind of blocking out some gimbal moves that he might want to try. And that's because before we sit Richard down here and do the interview, we're having him show us some of his art and getting some B-roll shots of him. Here we have him just looking out over the water.
Using vector programs like freehand and Adobe Illustrator.
And can you tell us for the viewer what is form line art?
Form line art to me and my people is a way of liturgy.
And is there a name in your language?
So anytime you're doing interviews like this with a small crew, I highly recommend the Sony Monitor and Controls app. I've got it on my iPhone here. And you can see it really gives you a lot of control over your FX6 as well as serving as a monitor. I've got the false color turned on here. You can also turn on waveform, histogram, as well as focus mapping and zebras. It really is a great free app, and you can control your autofocus. You can see here the eye autofocus on my interview subject Richard, and I have it locked right now so nothing can be changed. I can hand this to the producer so she can have a producer's monitor, a director's monitor, see what's going on. And it's just a great little app to have. I use it quite a bit on these type of projects where I'm by myself shooting or me and one other person. It's really nice. You can control your camera if you have to get up and fix a light, or you can hand it to the producer as a director's monitor.
Primarily from what I was taught, it was just formula design.
And can you tell us when this form of art came in?
All right, day 3. Headed off to set up for some interviews this morning. We've got some people who will be flying in, supposedly from Juneau, that we're going to interview. Sunny bringing up some gear from the lodge this morning. Here we've got our setup, all set up, lights, cameras, everything, but there's fog out and our interview subjects are stuck. So we're waiting for them to get here. You have time now. This is pretty typical for Alaska, where a lot of travel is by plane, where fog and other weather can delay everything. Looks like got some snacks going on over there at the table. Well, it took an hour or so, but our interview subjects did make it out. So we started the interview here.
Something to that person. Later on, when you have a namesake, so someone has the same name as you, it's passed down, you are carrying on a part of that person.
Once again, you can see I'm using the Monitor and Controls app from Sony here. Very handy to be able to use this on your phone as the interview is going on. And here you can see you can turn off all the overlays if you just want a clean feed. You still have the little eye autofocus showing that it's locked in on her. And here is the false color. And then we also have our histogram and our waveforms. And we also have access to pretty much every function you could think of on here. High res or low res live view, and then also all the different functions that you could ask for as far as control of your camera. One more interview setup here. We got a lot of natural light coming in from the windows. We're actually using these COB NAN lights, so we're dialing in the color temperature to match what's coming in from outside, and it works pretty well. Typical interview, we'd kind of do all these the same with one lav mic and a boom mic, and then 2 cameras, one locked on sticks, and then a gimbal camera kind of moving around a little bit. After we were done with this interview, we were off to shoot some more B-roll. Some carving of a totem pole here. Shot a lot of overcrank on this just to get a little bit of slow motion. Also shot a lot more drone footage of the area. It's nice to have a drone. You can do some of these slow, almost crane shots on the totem poles, as well as getting some good establishing shots of the town and the area around it. Legit Productions did release a bunch of stills around this project on their Instagram account. You can go check those out if you want. Lots of stills of me and Sunny working away, and here's our whole crew at the end of the shoot. But without any more ado, let's take a look at the trailer which was just released.
Respect. Respect. Respect everything. Respect other people. When you are respectful, you are honoring your soul.
My home is located northwest of Fairbanks, up on Moose Mountain. I'm away from the city lights, so I have really good aurora viewing up here.
Yeah.
We're going to go see the only healing pole in the country that's dedicated to boarding school survivors.
We all know what a chain and padlock is. It was my way of trying to say that the federal government has locked us out of our homeland. It's a way of sending the message to whomever is looking at it. Someday, I hope to be able to unlock that padlock.
In other words, showing that the Alaska Native culture can be seen as equal as the Western.
Well, that's it for this time. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. If you have any questions about this project, feel free to ask them in the comments below, and I'll do my best to answer any of them.